Hola and happy good day. I am Brianne from Zenful Mindings, coming to you from a different locale because I was driving along and got a big inspiration that I needed to talk about this. And today I wanted to spend some time talking to you about, or maybe introducing you to, the verbiage emotional squashing. And I have no idea if I just made that up or if I heard it somewhere. It doesn't sound familiar, but it sounds like a great description for what I'm talking about. And what I'm talking about is when we have emotions, but we tell ourselves we don't have time for that. Or someone else tells us that this isn't the time for that, or you don't have a right to feel that, or that's not allowed here, you don't have a reason to cry. So this all results in this emotional squashing where we push and push and push it all down, we repress it, and what ultimately ends up happening, or what can end up happening, is that we end up containing this stuff in our bodies. Right? And it layers upon layers upon layers on itself until it is this energetic weight of such gigantic proportion that it weighs us down in all sorts of ways. Quite literally. So we can see it manifest in our physical body when we are containing ourselves, right? We're like kind of crouching in and we feel bogged down. We fight back something, or maybe it's just so much that one little thing kind of sets us over the edge and we find ourselves exploding, and that's not healthy either, right? So let's talk about it just a little bit. So I was listening to a few things earlier today that had me really thinking about this, and emotions were not something that I bargained for in my yoga journey. It was just sort of incidental along the way, and I grew to really love it, even though it was messy and uncomfortable. It's one of my favorite parts, is this emotional exploration and discovery, and this self-healing and self-care and self-love that can come from that. And on the mat, we can see this happen if you've ever been in a class or even done any kind of movement, and you've noticed that certain things come up in your mind or in your heart when you're doing certain kinds of movements. So pardon the background noise. Certain things come up, or we feel like we want to cry when we're in Shavasana, or we're doing hip openers, or we feel like a mass amount of tension, like we're trying to just like hold ourselves together in some poses. And it's those kind of things that are signals that our body's trying to tell us it's too much. Something needs to be done here. Let's do some of this work. And one of the things that I heard earlier was that wild animals kind of have this great setup for feeling emotions and working through the stress hormones of fight or flight, because they haven't learned anything different, right? They are wild and untamed. But we, as a human civilization, are not wild and are not untamed. As much as many of us are in spirit, most of us are not in daily life, right? It doesn't manifest like that because we are trying to exist within a culture and a society that continues to tell us we don't have time for your emotions. They're not allowed here. This isn't the space for that. You'll need to do that on your own personal time. My hair is quite wild though. And that's just not the way to treat human beings, right? And I personally struggle with, how do these two things coexist? I don't know the answer for that, and that's way too big for this video to address. But what I do want to talk about is what a big role that this plays in our work with little ones, right? With our children, anybody that we take care of, because what we do in our lives, we model for them, right? And this is something that I am particularly passionate about with my own children. I'm also expanding my own practice and training with this kind of work. And it's something that has allowed me to do a lot of healing, and that continues to allow me to do some healing. And we can't do any of those things though unless we start with one act. It's not going to be this major big like thing where it's all done clean slate at one time. It's going to be probably one ugly, messy moment. So maybe next time you feel like crying, you cry. Or you feel like yelling, so you scream at the top of your lungs. Or you dance it out because the feelings are just bigger than your body. Or you hit a pillow because you feel like punching something. Those are all very healthy things to do and healthy ways to get those feelings out of our bodies, because our bodies are not containers for those sorts of things, right? They contain our bones, our ligaments, our tendons, and muscles, and all of the fancy inner workings that make us function, but they are not meant to contain our emotions. Emotions just want to be felt. All they're asking for is to be felt and to be witnessed. Our bodies are vehicles to allow that to happen, and we have to be able to feel them all the way through instead of shoving them down and repressing them, because otherwise it's just a recipe for disaster. Let me turn your attention to that scene in Ghostbusters, if you're familiar, where they shut off the containment unit. I'll let you go to that. But it's just something that we can do one step at a time to build a better habit in our lives, to better teach our children, to be better examples for those around us, even our coworkers, our friends, our families, our sisters, whomever it is. Let's be better so we can help them do better also. I will leave you with that today, and my wild, funky hair. That's my signal. I gotta go. Have a great day. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below, message me, do all of the business to share your love, and I send you mine. Happy, great day.